I'm gonna get one for my a pack of one for my daughter. This
Lisa Denae Live starts now. Only on Stunner Radio, the heart and soul of the culture.
Hey, it's your girl Lisa Denae, and we are live here on Stunner Radio. It is Wednesday. It's Saturday. I don't know what just happened in my brain, but I was gonna say it is Wednesday. It is not Wednesday. It is Saturday, you guys. Saturday, June 5th, and I feel like I just said Happy May.
right,
Not too long ago.
right.
Now we're in June. So, I mean, I'm not really sure what's going on. Time is flying. It seems like we had just gotten into 2021. Now we are at the halfway mark. Can you believe it?
It is definitely time is definitely flying.
Yeah, it's getting on out of here. So, happy Pride Month to everybody. June is Pride Month. We stand with the LGBTQIA plus community. I got it, girl. I got it. I've been practicing. I think I did.
It's QI.
LGBTQIA plus.
Oh.
Yes.
I know about the I or the A.
See, your girl been practicing. Now, don't ask me what it all stands for, because I might not be able to help you. But at least I got all the letters together.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's a learning experience for us all. But happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month.
Yes, it's June. And it's also Black Music Month. Like, this is the favorite thing for me because I love music and I love all types of music, but Black music to me, and not just because I'm Black, but
no, you just groove different.
Black music is the best music.
Just feel good music.
Yes. It's something about all of our pain that gives us this ability to just create something that everybody can relate to, like the world can relate to. So happy Black Music Month. Now, we're going to be celebrating at Stunner Radio. I got all the radio personalities. They're going to be doing some TikToks to their favorite song. and, let me just go and put this out there for y'all. A few of us are a little over 40, so we're not that familiar with TikTok, but we're going to try our best, and we're going to do something just in honor of Black Music Month. So, you guys go follow Stunner Radio on TikTok. I'm just saying. Just put that out there. But we have a very special guest with us today, and her name is Zen Ashe. Did I say that right?
Ashe.
Okay. Zen Ashe. And I'm so excited to talk with her because she's just a very interesting person. When you go to somebody's social media page and get lost, you know they're interesting. Right? You just get lost in all their posts and you realize, 30 minutes don't pass. Anyway, what is that about? Okay. Anyway, yes, we are here. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to be back with our special guest, Zen Ashe. Don't go nowhere.
This show is sponsored in part by Houston's own multimedia mogul, Lisa the Boss Lady, motivational speaker, travel agent, sales consultant for Bye Bye Belly, Bedroom Candy, and Candy Coated Cosmetics, and coming soon, the co-host of the hot new talk show, Love and Entrepreneurship. If you're looking to start a business or you just need some inspiration, contact Lisa the Boss Lady. It's time to boss up in 2021. Follow her on Facebook and Instagram at Lisa the Boss Lady or visit her website, LisaTheBossLady.com. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you. This show was sponsored in part by Flat Fee Tax Prep and Services, offering quality tax preparation, serving clients nationwide. For more information, visit www.flatfeecreditandtax.com. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you.
All right, we're back, you guys. Welcome back to Lisa Denae Live, brought to you by Stunner Radio. We are so happy to be here today. And if you're just joining us, I want to just make sure that we say again, Happy Pride Month. I'm just saying, the LGBTQIA plus community, they're powerful.
They are. They absolutely are.
So we want you to know we with you. Okay. That's all I got to say. We are with you. And, happy Pride Month. So, like I said, we have and I don't think that I introduced my special guest co-host, which is Lisa the Boss Lady. Okay. I don't think I introduced her properly. Lisa, how's you doing? How's your week going? What's going on this Wednesday/Saturday?
Oh my goodness, y'all! It's been a long week, but it's a completed week. My very last child is graduated, is done. So
that's a blessing.
It's a blessing. I'm very happy. I'm very proud of her. She was pandemic proof, and she did it. She still, the virtual thing was difficult.
Yeah.
It was difficult for her, but she still did it, and I'm just super proud of her. So shout out to Natalie, class of 2021, and shout out to all of the class of 2021, but especially at Westville High School, whose parents may not have seen them graduate last night.
Sound like Lisa the boss lady not too happy, y'all.
I'm just saying, because I almost didn't, and I know somebody probably didn't. So that just shout out to all of you. You still are awesome, and I hope that your parents did see you.
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't, you got your diploma, baby. So
right.
It's all good.
Right.
I don't care if nobody saw you. You got it. Congrats to all the grads. So now we want to get into our interview with Denae. Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do.
Okay. Well, I am a high school educator, so virtual was extremely difficult for everybody. Yes, very, very difficult. So I've been in the inner city schools for 26 years.
Wow.
Yes, I've taught 9th through 12th grade, so I'm teaching 10th and 11th right now. And I'm so glad that we're out. I needed a break. But about almost 3 years ago, I started performing. Well, 4 years ago, I started performing. 3 years ago, I started a live comedy, music, and poetry show.
Wow.
Yeah, called Laughs and Lyrics. And then I started merch from that. And I've worked with over 85 artists in the city of Houston and throughout the nation that have come and performed, and the slogan is get Zen, stay Zen, spread Zen. You come in stressed, you leave refreshed.
I like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Do you incorporate that with your students as well?
I definitely try to bring a lot of music, and, we use YouTube videos, we use other things, poetry into my classroom. I definitely want them to focus on their dreams, their goals, because a lot of times we prepare students to be employees, but I think we should also be preparing them to be entrepreneurs and creators.
Yes.
Right? And showing them that avenue is available. So yes, I do try to bring that into the classroom. And so after we went into quarantine, of course, there were no live shows. And for performers, everybody was devastated. Mm-hmm. Performers, it was kind of like a death because we get so much from the stage. Mm-hmm. And so I started an e-commerce store putting, my merchandise online. And then I started a podcast called Zenergy in October of last year. Because for me, I had been going through a lot. I had 9 deaths in the last, 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, my mother and my father.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So, yeah. So it was, and then we had the pandemic. And then where I had really lost myself in terms of getting away from all my stress was on the stage. And that was gone. And here we're dealing with these, we've got the civil rights movement going full steam. We've got the pandemic going. We've got quarantine. We've got people losing their jobs. Even teachers, a lot of us were wondering, were we going to have jobs? Because they were saying all kinds of things about, us possibly not having funding, us possibly being downsized, so there was a lot of stress, even for someone who you think would have a secure job.
Right.
I don't think any of us felt like we had a secure job. And so at that point, I really kind of went back to my childhood, looked at things that really inspired me. And I started making a list of the alphabet, I still have abundance. I still have the ability to act. And then I actually started journaling, and I actually created a personal development package from that. And so that's also one thing I'm doing now is really getting people to focus on what they still have, regardless of where they are in terms of, do they have a job? Do they have, their home? Do they have their resources? A lot of people have lost so much, but we still have so much within us that we can go back to and rely on to reevaluate and to restart and resurrect ourselves. And so that's what Zenergy is about. It's about every week focusing on a concept and using that concept as fuel for your mind, body, and soul. And I bring a lot of different people on to talk about different concepts and how that's, impacted their life and inspired them to keep moving forward.
I like that. I like that because one of the biggest news stories we heard about this week was Naomi Osaka, who, dropped out of the French Open because she didn't want to talk to the press. She was protecting her mental health. So I brought that up because you said mind, body, and soul. And I think so many times we don't remember that we're more than one dimensional. So we have other things, not just our physical health, our mental health, and then our soul, spiritual health.
Yes.
So how do you encourage people to take care of all three of those things?
Well, like I said, I feel that principles are the foundation of everything. And so if you're able to incorporate principles into your life, then you're able to use those principles effectively. And like I'll show you, I don't know if they can see it over here. This is a completed package. This is mine.
Okay.
And so here you have journal prompts at the top, and you get a journal with my package, a blank journal. And then you have a place to put, we were talking about comedy, music, poetry. You have a place to put a song. What uplifts your spirit more than music?
Right.
Create a positive, Apple podcast list of podcasts you listen to, or a YouTube list of songs and videos that you listen to, where you have different principles. This song for abundance, I had the song Money Is Coming to Me, which is one I found on YouTube.
Okay.
But you could put another song I've heard people say, Living My Life Like It's Golden. Jill Scott.
Yes.
And then a movie. Sometimes we watch a lot of movies and they don't really uplift us, but there are so many movies out there that are uplifting. Like I put down here, The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. He went from homeless to a Wall Street tycoon. So that shows you that anybody can accomplish their goals if they're willing to work for it, even if they're willing to put people out of their life that are not being positive. So that's another way we can protect our mind, body, and soul. And then a book. What are you reading? What are you reading on audiobook? What are you physically reading that's going to feed your mind, body, and soul? So I put here, You Were Born Rich. If you've never read that book, it's a very powerful book. You can find it on YouTube for free. And then an affirmation. What are you saying to yourself? So here I put, as soon as money leaves, it is replenished. That's my affirmation for abundance.
Okay.
And then a goal. What are you actually trying to accomplish? And this is a place where they could actually put, a picture of their kind of like a vision board. So here I have the earth, and there's all kind of arrows that's showing where I could get different streams of income and where I could bless people and they could bless me. And then who are you looking to for inspiration? Like I put Langston Hughes here, who's died and gone on, that you can look to for inspiration. He was the first Black writer to make a living from his writing in the 1920s, before there was civil rights.
Come on. Wow.
So that's powerful. And he still left us an abundance of material. We have plays, we have short stories, we have poems from him. Probably everybody's heard Mother to Son, that poem about, don't you sit down on those steps because it's kind of hard, because life for me ain't been no crystal stair.
Right. Yes.
It's had boards in it and tacks and splinters and, and that's very inspiring. So we have those pieces that he left us. And then I have Oprah as a contemporary, because of course she's a billionaire, she's lifted so many people around her. So I'm trying to get people to use a whole toolbox of things, books, movies, songs, going and looking up YouTube videos about people who passed on. What can you put in your journal from Langston Hughes that inspired you? How could you emulate his life? What can you put in your journal from Oprah Winfrey that inspired you? So we have so many things at our disposal, but we're not trained to use them.
I like that.
And so you get this book, and then you got so many things that you can put in your journal, and you can kind of fill your mind with positivity. And again, just kind of, we look at the ceiling up there, but we can just blast that ceiling off in terms of our mental capacity and see the sky is the limit for us.
I really, really love that, because I'm a big believer in using anything you can use, any type of tool, trick, technique to get the best out of you. And that's it right there. Like you said, something about keeping positive things in your mind. Yeah. That's big, because the negative always is there. I mean, you don't even have to try for that.
Edge and way in there, but you got it like packed right there. Like it's like a little mini vision board. And is that, how do you do that? Is that like a week, or is that like a day?
this is volume 1, and this I basically encourage people to do 1 page a week.
Okay.
So you take maybe, depends on how much you're going to do, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, and you fill this out, but you're using this the whole week. So when you're going to your job, you're listening to that audiobook. You're listening to that song when you get up in the morning. You're remembering, Oprah or Langston Hughes or whoever it was. So you're just reinforcing this all week. And then when you finish with that one, you go on to the next page and you start on a different topic. And each one of these does go with one of my episodes. So like you can actually listen to my podcast where we talk about the topic. And then this is personalized. So some people are more inspired by music, some by books, some by movies, some by looking up people. So this page, you don't have to fill it out completely. It's for you to have, like we said, a toolbox. So you got basically 16 different topics. Some of these pages have meditation prompts. They have breathing exercises that you can look up, tells you how to breathe when you meditate, so there's all kind of different things in here. So yeah, it is basically, to go through this volume 1 would take you about 4.5 months if you were doing 1 page a week.
Okay.
And you're just trying to, again, really revamp your mindset and really, again, like I said, just blow the ceiling off and really just see all the possibilities you have from all the people that came before you, from all of your contemporaries. Just really expand your capacity to believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm. I can say you are definitely an educator.
I really love that.
You got a whole workbook. I said, ooh, I was in for a minute, but this is the whole assignment, right? But I love that because it's like when you meet people and they tell you what they do, sometimes it's so separate from who they are. And you're like, wow, why do you do that? But you are an educator, period. I don't think you could probably even just run into you at the grocery store and not learn something. Oh. You'd probably be educating people in the produce section. Like, did you know tomatoes? I love that though, because you're definitely walking in your calling. I really like that. So when you said each day you're going to do these things, it made me rethink my list because on songs, it depends on the day for me. So when you put down your song that motivates you, mine is Waka Flocka. It's a party. So because the first line is, I got a whole lot of money. And that's the song that just be on my mind all the time. I got a whole lot of money. Even on the days when I don't, because it's ringing in my head, money just be coming to me. And I realize that's because that's always on your mind.
When it comes to with you,
I got a whole lot of money. So that's my song inspiration. My movie would be Dreamgirls because the craziest part about me is that's how I see myself. Nobody else might not see that, but I see myself as that. Not the Beyonce character Effie.
I was about to
see myself as Effie.
Really?
Yeah. That's how I see myself. So, watching that movie just keeps me keeps me from trying to see myself how everybody else see me, and just be okay with seeing myself like that because that's how I see myself. And then my book would be Get Rich, Lucky Bitch. I love this book so much. For any woman that wants to be rich and wants to be empowered, read this book and reread it and reread it and read it again. It's a really good book. It ain't by a sister, but she a sister in my book. I'm gonna let her be honorary. Yeah. And then for my person that inspires me, of course, Oprah Winfrey. I mean, and Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou, I relate to her so much. She really inspires me. So I like that you brought that to us because you never really think about this stuff on a regular basis.
Right.
But it's weird how you think about negative stuff. It just comes to you.
It squeezes its way in there. Just
buzzes
its way in there.
So I was going to ask you, did you always know that you would be doing this type of work? But clearly you must have.
I actually thought when I was a kid that I was going to be a writer. Mm-hmm. And then I got discouraged, because people were saying, you really can't make a living at that and all of that. And so I got discouraged with that. And then teaching just kind of fell in my lap in a certain, it just seemed like it kept following me because I kept being offered jobs to work with kids, like with the YMCA, and I did a summer program for the Ripley House, and I did tutoring for them. And I was like, okay, it just seems like this is what I'm supposed to do, so I'm gonna teach. But writing always was something that really helped me to download my brain and cope with life. And so then I started sending out my writing, and it started getting published, and I was like, okay. And then I got the idea to perform, which I was terrified of performing.
Oh, really?
I was very intimidated. I didn't see myself as a spoken word artist, but my mom was like, it's your writing, so why would you be so, you can memorize your own writing, you memorize other people's writing.
Yes.
So then I went with that. And so every time I have tried to expand myself, I had to move out of my comfort zone, and I had to just, let myself become that bigger person than what I saw. Because I think sometimes we have a very limited view of who we are, and then we have to get used to being uncomfortable and moving outside of that comfort zone. So yeah.
So what was the first piece that you performed?
The first piece I performed was called Blue Water, Green Tree.
Oh, interesting. Now, is that something you could do for us, or is it's long?
No, it's short. It's very short, and I've changed it over time to make it a little more accessible to the audience, because I got a great reception when I first did it, but I realized that not everybody in the audience understood it. So I had to do a little preface to it. So I'm going to do that preface with you guys. Okay, so what do we call a really sexy man? We call him a tall drink of
water.
Exactly. And we know in Houston that water, and normally I use this is going to be my way. So when I do this, I want you guys to say water. We know that water can be beneficial, because when you have a hot day, you want to just get that tall drink of water. But we also know that it rains, and our streets can be filled with water, and our cars can be filled with water, and our homes can be filled with water. So we know that water is very nourishing and cleansing, but it's also destructive. It depends on what kind of water you are dealing with.
Yes.
And we know that a tree, and I'm going to use this for a tree, okay? So we know that a tree can produce fruit. And so that's going to symbolize a woman, because a tree has the fruit, just like a woman can have children. Okay. All right? And a tree tends to get rooted and grounded and send roots deep down into the earth. And sometimes women don't want to leave situations because that tree has gotten too deeply rooted in that situation, even when she should leave.
Yes.
All right. So this poem is called Blue Water, Green Tree.
I'm not going to lie. I thought that was the poem.
No,
I was like, this is an interactive poem. I really did. It was.
Interactive.
I thought that was it. That was great. That was fun. Okay,
so Blue Water, Green Tree. She carries him like a mother carries her child, but he's her husband. Trust him like the sands that slips through her fingers at the beach, but loves him like an oak loves water. Born on the Mississippi, she's known. Water. As deep and dark as Mississippi mud, or as clear as Bahama breezes. Water. As cold as a hailstorm, and as hard as a steel door. Water. That closed around like death as she waits to exhale. He is her. Water. She is his. Tree. Wow. He runs, plays, visiting the beaches. She stands toweringly waiting. He rages, rips houses apart, but just rolls around her roots, snagging only clumps of clay. He nourishes her, feeds her, supplies her. Happily incompatible, they feed each other, separate but joined by life. He is her. Water. She is his. Tree. Moody like the moon, his tide waxes and wanes, she stands. She rings centuries around her stature. She holds the wealth of 1,000,000 generations of mother-lover sense in her outstretched arms. Her leaves fall into his ripples, 1,000,000 tears of change. Blue, water, green, tree. Yeah.
Woo! Yes! Man. Oh, that's so wonderful. I love that.
That's a domestic violence poem.
Yeah. I could tell because it talked about that that dilemma of love and trust and betrayal.
Right.
and abuse and damage,
Right.
but I still can't let you go because I'm so deeply rooted.
Right.
And your water is not always bad.
Right.
Sometimes your water nourishes me, but at other times it's destructive.
Right.
That's deep, honey.
Yes.
Listen. Because I had some that was my water. And Lord knows I was his tree. Some of them still dealing with some roots.
I've been a lot of trees.
Man. I love that so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I mean, you know, that's how you know when you're in the presence of an artist. When you ask them to perform and they come through like that. I'm just saying. She came through with it. Okay. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with our special guest, Zen Ashe. And she's going to tell us how we can find her on social media and how we can support her business.
Are you looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle but have less than perfect credit? Look no further than Mi Amigo Motors, offering in-house financing to help you build or reestablish your credit. All vehicles are put through a multi-point inspection, and their award-winning customer service and on-site service center will make your buying experience stress-free. I know you got your stimulus check and it's tax refund season, so stop by Mi Amigo Motors today at 9729 Long Point Road or give them a call at 832-548-5927 to reserve your appointment for their VIP approval. If you're looking for healthy meal prep, family-style meals, or catering for your next event, look no further than the East Traveling Square Kitchen with Chef Square, Alan Phillips, specializing in soul food, family-style dining, and southern flavor. Chef Square can adhere to dietary needs like keto and bariatric meal prep without compromising on taste. Take advantage of weekly meal plans like the Starter Pack, 5 meals for $75 with 3 entree choices. Additional meal plans and contact-free delivery is available. Contact Chef Square of the East Traveling Square Kitchen today at 832-495-8836 and tell them Stunner Radio sent you.
All right, we are back. It is Lisa Denae Live right here, brought to you by Stunner Radio. And we have a wonderful guest with us today by the name of Zen Ashe. If you missed the first part of the show, do yourself a favor and rewind. Yes. Go to the beginning, baby. Don't stop watching live right now, though. But if you missed the first part of the show, go on over, scurry on over to YouTube, and go to the beginning. You got to hear Blue Water, Green Tree.
Yes.
You got to hear it, baby. I'm just letting you know. And then you got to follow Zen Ashe. So tell us how people can find you and how they can follow you and support you.
Okay, so if you go to Facebook, Zen Ashe is Denase. So that's my personal page. I probably have no spots, but you can also find me on Zen Ashe Poetry. And Zenergy is my podcast. So it's spelled Zennurgy. So it's the urge for more peace and fulfillment in life. That's what Zenergy means.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So Zenergy you can find on all streaming platforms. It's on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora. It's on all the platforms. So please, subscribe, listen, share. We have about 33 episodes out. I think I'm in 57 cities right now in 17 countries.
Oh, wow. Yes. Awesome.
Yeah, since October. My website is www.laughs, LAUGHZ, and lyrics.com. So you can see all of the merchandise I was talking about, my personal development package. You can buy that there for $15. I do ship. I have magnetic bookmarks. These are 10 for 10. These are 6 for 6. And then I have these affirmational bookmarks, which are 5 for 5. I have little motivational bands. These say like courage, dream, hope, faith. Those are $1 each. I have these little kind of smiley cards or positive cards. So you get 10 for 5. So you can see all of that on the website. laughsandlyrics.com. I also have print on demand, different designs, 14 different designs at Laughs and Lyrics Merch, LAUGHZN, the letter N, lyricsmerch.com. So those are my 2 websites where people can order things and, get more inspirational things in their environment that can uplift them.
Okay, awesome. So you guys, please go to the website. Please subscribe to her podcast, Zenergy. I really like that. The urge for more peace and fulfillment in life. I think we all have that, don't we? Don't we want more peace and fulfillment in life? So thank you so much for being our guest today. Hopefully you would hang out with us for our next half hour. We're just going to be talking, about goings on in the world, but I do want to introduce to everybody my cousin Jamise. So Jamise, tell our viewers and listeners who you are and what you do and why you're visiting Houston, Texas today.
Okay. Well, like she said, I'm Jamise, cousin of Lisa. Um, so I am here for what was called the Milwaukee Takeover, and what that is there's different promoters around the United States that somehow is affiliated with Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or they lived there before, or whatever. Like the guy that's doing it this weekend, he used to live there. Now he lives in Atlanta. And what they do is they'll go to a major city and book venues and promote it and just invite Milwaukee in and say, come party in this city with us. So it was Arizona last month. They've been to Atlanta. They've been to Chicago. And Milwaukee just comes up. So I think for this event this weekend, I'm guessing it was hundreds
It was hundreds.
of people.
It was hundreds of people. Let me just let y'all know.
We couldn't find a parking spot.
Woo! We went to Seaside Lounge here in Houston, Texas. Shout out to Seaside Lounge, but y'all need a little more space. And y'all definitely need a little more parking. Because I have never in my life heard of paying $80 to park your car.
80.
And
80.
Oh.
Not to go to a club. I mean, no. I mean, what?
we never did that.
I was like, I don't even have to pay that to see the Astros. You know,
What's
you don't
the
have to
cover
pay
for the club
$80.
if you got to pay $80 to
Well,
park?
the cover was originally 50, but then it went down to 40. Then it went down to 20. So
That made my eye jump.
I'm not sure why it went down. It was definitely a blessing for a lot of people, but I'm assuming the closer it got to actual bar time,
Yeah.
it probably went down at that point. Who's going to pay $50 to go hang out
For 2 hours. Yeah.
whatever. So, but yeah, it was a pretty much nice turnout, and there's another event today, and then tomorrow. And
Then you'll be headed back to Milwaukee,
Yes.
Wisconsin, leaving me alone again. World, I'm just kidding. Y'all know I'm an orphan and I'm a motherless child, and I ain't got no family. So I am happy to have my blood relative here with me today. So I just want to ask you a few questions because why you say that? I just want to ask you a few questions, and yeah, we'll talk about the other thing I'm gonna ask you to do later. But I just want to ask you a few questions about yourself. Just tell us a little bit more about your she's multi-talented. Y'all tell them never had no family because I'm all proud of my family. My family is very talented. Okay, she's a chef and she used to be an entertainer,
Oh yeah.
aka Juicy.
Oh, that's
My bad, cuz.
past life.
That's right,
That skill is still there.
baby. No.
Got greater later.
See, the thing, I'm a firm believer that the things we might be kind of like shy away from, when we get old, we're going to be broadcasting it. Oh, you know who I am, right? I'm Juicy. Right? You know what I'm saying?
It's just reserved for that special someone.
Yes, I feel you on
spread it
that.
around no more,
I feel you on that.
Keep that rap.
I feel you.
Yeah.
But you are a chef.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So basically because I'm moving out of working for people, I begin to do things at my home. And that's pretty much with my own page on Facebook and on Instagram called What's Cooking MKE, What's Cooking Milwaukee. And well, I haven't cooked in a while, and I'm sorry. They're like, Lucy, when are you cooking again? So what I would do is just cook dinners and cater for events, or if people aren't doing a holiday meal or something like that, and my family isn't cooking for Christmas. Are you cooking something? Oh yeah, come on by. And it would just sell out, and it would just have me drained by the end of the day with the crab boils and the soul food dinners and the flavored wings and the turkey legs and just, oh my goodness. So,
that sounds so good. I'm getting hungry.
oh,
I'm
yeah,
getting hungry.
we're going. You're taking me somewhere. I told her that, like, oh, I'm so hungry. My cousin ain't fed me real good yet.
Dang, put me on blast. Listen, America.
But she's gonna say, you left me here.
I know, right? But I did.
I need some red beans and rice, Southern style.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna find that.
That's what I need.
Cause y'all know I ain't up on that. I mean, you know,
You might even tell Chef Square.
I could have
Well, he
told
would've
Chef
did
Square.
that.
Yeah. I might have to put in a call. Her husband is Chef Square. He's a chef, and he cooks for us all the time.
And he's starting to try to do soul food more. So
Yeah, because it's not just me here. There's other family here as well. So it's about maybe 9 or 10 of us here, but they can't move right now. Some of them didn't get back to their hotel until 5 a.m.
Oh, wow,
goodness
word.
gracious!
They was doing it
They
real
was
big.
partying all night. So
See, this is how you know you're getting old when you start looking at your phone at 11:30.
we was sleep at the table almost last night.
Yes.
I said, my eyeballs is getting heavy. I've had to do it. I start taking my jewelry off.
Yes.
Because when I get sleepy, I don't know nothing touching me. Everything must go.
Well, you know, this is a sign of age for anybody that's listening. When I looked at that club and saw them youngins, I said, that ain't for me. Because all I could think of was noise, unnecessary noise. Go talk to your friend over there. Don't yell from behind me. You know, that kind of noise. That let you know you old. You getting old. Unnecessary noise. And then people bumping into you. That's all I saw. And I was like, I ain't going to be able to do it.
I feel you.
Yeah.
But I think that's also kind of like our bloodline thing because I don't like to be touched.
I like the right touch.
But by who I want it from.
Please understand. Yeah.
When I'm in a club and it's all these people, I just really don't.
Yeah, I mean, and right now, especially, you know, and I was not that type of person before, but I kind of am now. You know, I want my space.
Please give me
And,
space.
you know, I went to a graduation last night and I felt that. I was like, oh, please move.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be rude, you know, so you don't say anything.
I don't mind being rude. I don't mind
No.
it because it's my space right here. You know, I'm gonna need you to move away. I'm gonna need you to back up. I was like that before the pandemic. So the pandemic was a blessing for me because people have to stay 6 feet away, and it's beautiful. Now you go in the store and they see that little line. Don't act like just because you got vaccinated, you don't see that line. It's still saying,
Yes.
Okay.
Do I need to
give me some space. Yes, it's still saying. So tell people where they can find you on social media. If you look for social media followers for What's Cooking Milwaukee, where can they find you? Or your personal page?
Jamice Blessed Rollins. But like I said, I haven't actually cooked in a while.
Been out here jet setting.
Yeah, it's just it's a lot of work, a lot of movement. I'm very particular about how it tastes, how it's presented, how it looks on the plate. I mean, if it don't look right to me, you might have to wait for a minute so I can make another one. So, and that's why I have so many faithful people, and they'll still ask me to this day, like, Janice, when are you gonna cook?
That's a good sign. That's a sign that you need to be.
I know.
Yeah, you've given something to them more than the food, and a lot of people don't know that when you're cooking or creating, even like what you do, creating something, it's more than just the thing you're giving them.
Right, it's a
It's
feeling.
part of you.
It is.
Yeah, you're giving something of yourself to it. That's why it's so needed.
And so my goal was to have a food truck. Just my goal. But there's so many things that has to be put in place before that actually happens. You know, even not just with the license, but with the whole scheduling and my time. If I've got something else going on over here, and for a minute I was actually doing club promoting.
Okay.
Just like what he's doing here now. So that's also something that I was, or not was, but is entwining to putting together.
Okay, that's a good hand in hand.
Yeah,
Right, definitely.
Because if
You got to eat when you come out the club.
right, if you can promote an event and then have a food truck outside,
Right, absolutely.
that's all in my life. You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But then, it's also something where I try my best because I have my 15-year-old and my 16-year-old who's going to be 17, and then my 30-year-old who lives in Ohio. I've always tried to teach them and are teaching them to be self-sufficient.
Right.
And if you want to go get employed somewhere, that's okay. That's what you want to do. But don't lower yourself to be employed there because you can be employed anywhere.
Right.
But I'm not going to be respected anywhere.
Right.
And wherever I'm employed at, that's where the respect is going to be.
Right.
Or I won't be there.
Absolutely.
So just, I try to just talk to teenagers about that period. Like, you don't have to accept disrespect just because they're signing a paycheck.
Right.
We're Black. We're talented. Especially, I'm not discrediting men. I'm definitely not. But women are, once you heal and realize who you're supposed to be, you can create so many things with this here. It starts there.
Right.
You create it in your mind, then it'll manifest. But so many of our women, they're broken. And that comes from generations of mental abuse, from slavery, from even before slavery, because what a lot of people don't know is that our own Black men started that, and they sold those women into prostitution, and they beat them, and then that curse came on us because it's like, okay, you want to take my women and do this to my women. Now I'm going to sell you into slavery because what you did to my women, to my Black women, to my healers. So that curse is just like falling down like a domino effect. So we're dealing with women now that, are so competitive with each other, and they don't support each other, and they don't love themselves, and they continue to be in these relationships, like we were saying about the water. And my thing is that water can be good if you love yourself first.
Right.
Because I ain't drinking no tainted water.
Right.
I'm not bathing in it. I don't want it in my fridge. I don't want it in my
right.
Yeah, so when I begin to love myself, it's like that long ago curse began to heal in me, to where I can look at a Black woman and say, girl, you doing your thing, and I can genuinely mean it, and I'm happy for you, and I'm glad you're flourishing. But if you're not healed on the inside from the many years of hurt that our ancestors went through, because just think about it like this: if you're dealing with someone who there's a generation of hurt and they never got counsel for that, so then they're birthing kids, and then those kids deal with this hurt mother or father, and then they don't receive counseling for it, and it's a generation, and it goes down, and you're just dealing with a generation of wounded people.
Yeah, it's just a cycle.
And now our kids are here lost, like in Milwaukee right now. You have 8 years old, 10 years old, 12-year-old little kids stealing cars.
Oh my gosh.
Every day they've stolen almost 4,000 cars. Just
wow.
Oh, there.
And what do an 8-year-old know about
how
a car?
I can't do that.
The heck? They're breaking in houses. They're robbing people at gunpoint. These are kids.
Oh my God.
And it makes you wonder, where are the parents?
Parents?
Because you have some parents that don't care what they're doing, but then you have some parents that has to work 2 and 3 jobs.
Yeah.
Which is what I refuse. I refuse to leave my daughters.
That's the reason why we have
their
to.
mom first. That's my job.
Yeah, and I think it's
for somebody else's dream.
And leaving my kids to fend for themselves. Yeah. I feel like that's why I like about this.
We got to
we have to break that. We have to be vigilant about the fact that if I cannot live on this wage, this is not a living wage.
No.
And about the fact that who we support getting into office, because now they're really thinking, they're examining the wage gap now and the wealth gap now. But it's always been there. It's always been there. And that's the reason why, we have all this crime and all these these children with no supervision. Because you're right, you got to keep a roof over their head.
Got to.
And it's us this constant thing of, if I don't provide for them, who's going to come and take them, or who's going to judge me, or whatever. So you feel like, well, I got to work 3 jobs. I got to do this. And I feel what you're saying, because when I remember when I had my first son, and this angered me so much, I could still feel my blood boiling. I had already known at this agency, they're giving us all the notifications. All right, our time is winding up, we know. Anyway, I had noticed, I had worked for this organization before I had my son. So I knew how they dealt with certain people. And I would see a director every now and again bring her baby to the office because she just wanted to. She made enough money to afford daycare, so she just wanted to. So at some point, I was a marketing coordinator, and I had to go to outside events. For this particular event, I didn't have any childcare. It was at the agency. Wow. There was other children there, so I brought my son, and he was in a stroller. And the black women was the main ones. That's so unprofessional. Why you bring? And I was like, wait, huh? And management. And pulled me in and said it's unprofessional. I said, but this director over here, when I mentioned her name, she brings her child all the time, and she can't afford child care. So where's the disparity here? Why are you criticizing me for having to bring my child, but then y'all applaud her and say she's such an involved mother?
At all.
And until I brought it to their attention, they didn't see it. But when I brought it to attention, the one lady was like, "Oh, you make everything about race," and she black. But the other lady was like, "You know what? No, think about that. She's right."
What did you say about race?
She's right.
What did you say about race?
Nothing. Except for the two people I compared were of a different race.
Yeah.
But when the lady came, tried to be a voice of reason, she was like, "You know what? We got to admit she's right. She's right. We look at it differently. And why do we do that?" And it was a whole conversation of how do we really see each other? And that's what I was thinking about when you're talking about the children, where are the parents? Because we have allowed this cancer in our community of not only not loving ourselves, but not loving each other.
Right.
So because I don't know you, I'm not going to watch out for your kids.
It takes a village.
Right. Yes.
We don't have a village anymore.
As kids, we couldn't be, we're only 4 years apart. So we grew up together as the same age, but we couldn't be down the street acting up and think our mama or our daddy not gonna find out.
Absolutely.
It doesn't go on like that anymore. You got a lot of them that's either look past it or be right with them.
Don't tell my child.
Yeah, and I read some comments about because their community in Milwaukee is coming together because police aren't doing anything about all this car theft. Or they're moving their feet too slow.
Oh wow!
So the community is coming together, and we're doing it.
That's good.
And there's a young lady who commented like, "Oh, y'all keep trying to tell on my son, and I know he steals cars," and she posted on our page to sell it, help him sell it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it's you got 2 different kinds. So that's why I'll be so careful before I judge a parent, because you have that kind that's allowing it, but then you have the kind who is stuck at work and really don't
even know
what their kid is doing. And that goes back to what happened to the village.
But both of these parents, if you think about it, in the same boat, because the old girl that's helping her son sell it, some of that money going to that household. That's why she's doing it. It gotta be.
Yeah.
And so in some kind of way, she feels like she has no choice too, just like the person's working 3 jobs. And that's why I encourage Black people to get into politics, get into the infrastructure of how these policies and procedures are written, because we gotta hate the system, not the people in the system, because the system is wrong.
Yeah.
Anytime you got somebody like Cardi B, and no knock on her, but anytime you got somebody like her who ain't never got to worry about a day in her life where her child gonna eat, sleep, none of that. And then you got people who work in honest jobs. Not that her job ain't honest, don't get me wrong. But I'm saying shaking your ass and talking about all the other stuff you're talking about is very different from somebody teaching our children, or somebody teaching our children. Got a lot of educators here, or at least in the medical field. And then when you got to still work another job, it's the system is broken.
It is.
But you got somebody like the Kardashians who build their life on sex and appearance and all that. Their children ain't never got to worry about ever getting sick. They ain't never got to worry about, and as a mother, they don't have to worry about my sick child. They ain't got to worry about none of that, because our society have given them money based on superficial reasons.
Sex tapes.
And this is something that we have to work to change. because it's not fair. It's not right. You have somebody who's actually doing something noble for our children. Educators, anytime educators, first responders, and veterans are low on the totem pole, that's why everything is upside down. Because these are the people we should be taking care of.
It is. It's backwards.
Not the strippers. Shout out to the strippers. I love y'all. But at the same time, Cardi B, that's what she is. At the same time, she is a stripper who got a little rhythm, who was able to spit some bars.
Yeah.
But the fact that now her whole child's future is secure and mine ain't is a problem. It's not nothing against me or her. It's the system.
It's definitely the system. And just to go back to what you said about everything being backwards, it's definitely backwards, because what a lot of people don't know or won't accept is we are clearly the chosen ones, always have been. We were here first and we'll be here last. That's just the bottom line.
That's why I love my family.
So, but when that curse breaks, listen, the truth is the truth. If nobody believe it, and the lie is a lie if everybody believe it. When that curse break, you're going to either accept it or you can move out the way.
But I think
because them black women, once that curse break, we coming through.
And it's already happening. And that's the reason why I feel like we have to, when you know the truth, you got to speak it, and you got to be bold, and you have to be brave. And that's the thing that, we talk about all the time, is the fact that the past is actually real, and these things actually happen to our people. Some of our things that we are coming into, the success and all this, is bought and paid for off the blood of our ancestors. So you can't let nobody back you in the corner and think you're not worthy. This is my birthright. And so we have to be bold enough. And you're right. It's going to be the women, and it's going to be the black women who really pull this world. Because as you know, with the pandemic, we all saw this is a worldwide thing now. Like a lot of things we struggle with, they struggle with.
It was a lie to put us to make the black women seen and not heard. It was definitely a lie, and to say that the man is the head. And the reason why I always had an issue with that is, how can I birth a man or a boy, but now he's the head over me? That just don't make any sense. Let's just make it make sense. Now, I'm not saying that he's not in control when those two people come together, because he definitely is, but they are together.
Right.
He's not this, she's not that. But she has her mission and he has his. But together as one, they a bomb ass couple, and they'll get the mission complete. Excuse my language. But there is no, he's the head, because he's been the head. Men have been the head, but this world is falling apart.
Let a female be
when
the head.
Wakanda came out, one of the best representations that I saw was when the king had to come before the queen mothers.
Yes.
Because that was the African way. You don't become queen unless you prove to the queen mothers that you're ready. You don't make a move unless the queen mothers basically approve you. You are king. We're not taking away from you being king.
Yeah.
But there is a balance between the yin and the yang, the male and female energy. And you need to have the household together by having the male and female energy balance, and also the kingdom together by recognizing the wisdom of the women who are going to raise the children, and keep that nurturing spirit, keep that bonding. But also you need the warrior that's going to go out there and kill something and protect. You need both of those. And in the African village, they understood the king at times has to submit to the queen mother.
Yes, indeed. Has to. Definitely has to.
Well, I know this is a time limit show.
We can talk all day about this.
We can talk all day about this. But I think this is a topic that we need to revisit, and visit again.
Absolutely.
Because until we all know this, until we all have this knowledge and are brave enough to act on this knowledge, we're going to continue to see what we see, which is not success. It's not health. It's imbalance. But I just want to touch on this real quick, because I never heard it put like what you said, and then it matches with what you said. When you said the man being the head, we are the head together. The reason why, I was like you as a kid in church, if they say the two become one, but then you separate it when it's the time to make a decision.
Yeah.
And I never liked that. No. But then you put it back together when the woman want to make a decision. Say, nope, you won. Two, it become one. So you got to go to him. Well, what? How do it change when he want to leave?
To touch on when the two become one, you got to think about that the only way those two can come one, because that's one soul and it's split into two. But then when they come together, they become one. So now how are you splitting it again?
Right.
It's impossible to do that.
Right.
And when you do that, you imbalance not just the house, but the world.
The world.
Right.
Because that's what we're pretty much
That's
doing
where we're at now.
right now.
That's exactly where we're at now. So it's a deep conversation. It's a conversation that really needs to be had.
We had this conversation like 3 hours on the phone, like what, last month?
I could talk about this for hours and hours, but it needs to come from the phone and get into the world. I'm just going to say, so put a little hint out there for my cousin. She may not be catching it, but she need to be, I'm just saying, broadcasting. I'm just saying. But anyway, we're going to talk about that later.
I hear you.
I thank y'all so much for tuning into today's show. We did not get to the top 5 wins and top 5 fails this week, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. It's going to be some more winning and failing next week. And we'll talk about that then. But I want to thank my special guests, Zen Ashe, Jamise Rollins, and of course my special guest co-host, Lisa the Boss Lady, who, I always say special guest co-host, but she here with y'all. But anyway, last words, everybody, and where people can follow you on your social media.
Zenashe Poetry, Zenergy, Zennurgy on Instagram, on Facebook, on all the platforms for the podcast. That's where you guys can follow me.
Jamise Blessedness Rollins on Facebook, or What's Cooking MKE on Facebook. Also on Instagram is Queen Bless Rollins on Instagram. The same thing, What's Cooking MKE on Instagram.
All right.
Lisa Middleton Phillips on Facebook, or Lisa the Boss Lady on Facebook, and it's THA Boss Lady, and LisaTheBossLady.com. And please stay tuned for the Boss Up Bootcamp on September 18th, 2021 at the Reversit Center from 10 to 3. I have 10 vendor spots available, and they will go fast. I have several people asking me about them, and they're first come, first serve, so grab them.
Yes, LisaTheBossLady.com. I'd like everybody on Stunner Radio to grow and do more. And Lisa, I'm just going to give her flowers real quick. She's one of those people that say, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. And I'll say, well, you need to do A, B, and C. And before I get C out my mouth, she already started on A. I love that, because some people will come to you and ask, I want to do this, I want to do that. You can give them the whole rundown, and then 2 years later, I want to do this, I want to do that. You're like, I already told you what to do. That's why, I'm so proud of you, Lisa. You guys register for the Boss Up Boot Camp, okay? Your girl is going to be one of the speakers, along with 2 other powerful speakers, LaFlower Bowie and Jacorian Burks.
Yes.
And come on out on September 18th.
Mm-hmm.
September 18th. If you're in Houston or surrounding areas, please register. Go to Lisa the Boss Lady, LYSATHA Boss Lady.com and register today. Now you can find me on all social media platforms under Lisa Denae. Go to LisaDenae.com, because I got some merch on there for you too. And please subscribe to Stunner Radio on YouTube. Visit our website at stunnerradio.com. If you yourself are looking to broadcast and you have an idea for a podcast, don't stress. Go to stunnerradio.com and holler at us, and we can handle all the pressure and the stress for you with all the services that we provide to our on-air personalities. But that's it for us today, you guys. I want to encourage you to celebrate Pride Month, celebrate Black Music Month, and celebrate yourself. Okay, love on yourself this week. That's my word for you for the week. Until next time, we'll be right here. See y'all later.
Happy Saturday.
Hey, it's your girl Lisa Denae, and I want to tell you about a product that has changed my life. Rain Premium Sanitary Napkins. Rain products are infused with a Nobel Prize-winning material called graphene. It's the graphene strip that provides the various health benefits that can improve your quality of life during that time of the month. Listen, I've been very loyal to a certain brand of feminine products, but I've never experienced the results I get with Rain products. The difference is in the graphene strip. Using Rain products has totally eliminated the painful cramps I experienced, and it can also help balance your body's pH, eliminate harmful bacteria, and help fight fatigue. Graphene moves heat away from your core to keep you cool and comfortable. Ladies, it's time to upgrade your feminine care with products that not only offer protection, but also improve your health and wellness. Place your order today and receive your premium sanitary This
Right.
show is sponsored in part by Sweet Bella's Adult Candy and Treats. Custom-made popcorn, gummies, lollipops, and other treats infused with genuine premium wine and spirit. Also offering fun-flavored vodka and tequila. Sweet Bella's Adult Candy and Treats uses only top-shelf liquor and quality wine. For more information, follow Sweet Bella's Adult Candy and Treats today on Facebook, Instagram, or Etsy, or place an order at sweetbellastreats@gmail.com. That's Sweet Bella's Treats with a Z at gmail.com. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you.